I think you either get to push to start the show or try and get me to do a weird thing right before we're quiet so Risen can do her thing.
So I know where you sleep at night, and I know you can't move quickly. I know where to light the fires.
But typically, well, okay, I was going to say, typically the doors are locked, so you're not going to get in.
Don't need to. Don't need to be inside. All right, I'm just
You
kidding.
could die in a fire.
I'm just kidding.
I'm a good sleeper. I won't know.
Good evening. It's Wednesday, June 29th, 2022. Welcome back to BoomerRexTonight, your nearly daily source for news and politics. I'm RisenLadyHeathen. Hey, asshole. What separates our show from other Millennial news podcasts?
Well, I know what separates me from you, and it's the fact that I don't have to worry that he's going to die in a fire now.
Oh, my
This
God.
is why my tribe raises you not to ever be seen leaving a party shouting, "I'll fucking kill you."
Should it be...
Especially if you're thinking you might need to kill that motherfucker.
We have a boomer, and not just any boomer. We have Mr. BoomerX himself.
We have a boomer who may die by fire, but he's going to come out gloriously aflame, pistol in hand, and dispensing justice.
Hugs and bullets.
Be kind of hard. I mean, you have a hard time moving already.
Yeah.
If you're on fire,
The
I don't think you're
adrenaline.
gonna get far.
The adrenaline and sheer motivation to make it unfun.
You know what's gonna be even funnier?
Uh-huh.
When it's not me that lights the fire.
Yeah,
Less
that's
so for
not
you,
funny.
probably.
Yeah, less so for me, because I was just kidding. I would never start a fire. Okay.
Oh.
You two eat, sleep, and breathe politics, and I'm learning that's three unique perspectives we share along with the facts from our literal round table. So, I have a burn it all down moment for you all, and I think Asshole
That's
might
right,
have
it's
fun
burn
trying
it
to
all down
describe the
Wednesday.
look on my face
Yeah, okay.
when
Cool.
we came across this. So let's dig right into our headlines.
Well, first I want to apologize because no, I don't think the CIA should give a bomb to anybody. Ukraine, you should feel free if they keep you targeting your civilians that maybe you should target theirs. I am perfectly morally okay with that. That's all.
All right. Older than we thought.
No.
Well, it turns out, again, the earliest human fossils are so old, you can't date the fossil. What you have to date is the layer of sediment in which they were found. So, we'd always had a disagreement on when certain sites were active that made us look younger. Turns out, human ancestry is 1 million years older than we thought it was. Between 3.4 and 3.6 million years ago, the various Australopithecus species were wandering around.
No.
So we just got older. That's really kind of cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Now we can buy hyperporn.
On the other hand, you can say you've had between 3.4 and 3.6 million years to learn something, and you still haven't.
Fact. And we're going to get into that later. So,
Yep.
let's move on to more Putin lies.
I don't know what's wrong in Russia.
I mean, a tumor.
It's got to be. So
Somebody needs to get Arnold Schwarzenegger to say it is a tumor.
anyway, today,
Must be a tumor.
Right. little Pootie boy was speaking to the media and denied that Russia was behind a strike on a shopping center in Keremchuk in central Ukraine that left 18 dead. Hey, asshole, your military was claiming 2 days ago that it was, and I quote, a successful military operation.
The bar is so
You
low that
asked-
means they hit what they aimed at.
Putin's as bad at lying as Trump, and probably for the same reason, because he
hasn't
honestly
had
doesn't
to for
care
a
what
long
the
time.
truth
Yeah.
is, and he lives in a fantasy universe.
Yeah.
But I
There's
just,
enough people supporting it that, yeah.
oh my God. Anyway, Jesus, can't even keep your story straight. Hey, fucktard, you have wrecked Russia.
Yeah.
You have expanded and hardened NATO. You have expanded and hardened the EU. You have gotten 300,000 additional troops who will be sent to the Quick Reaction Force with modern equipment that your country
work.
can't understand, let alone afford.
Yeah. No, they.
So you bring your little T-55s, cocksucker.
Hey,
You should have kept your stupid dumbass out of Ukraine. This is gonna
Really
be
should
the
have.
Russian folly for all eternity. Like, I feel bad for Germany at this point because they've tried so hard to no, we're not bad. We love people.
yeah,
But Russia, Ukraine is your Hitler. I'm just saying,
We wondered who the Nazis were in Ukraine. Now we know.
Mm-hmm.
They wear Russian uniforms.
that's the mistake. Is they are going to make the Ukrainians view the Russians the way the Russians view the Germans, and that's not going.
That's not going down well.
No.
Anyway, just,
And people.
So,
who fuck
hey,
Russia
Ukrainians in,
badly-
Fun.
occupied Ukraine, you should start finding ways to poison the Russian soldiers.
shoot them in the penis. No, people who fuck Russia up this badly tend to die in incredibly horrible ways.
Yep. Oh, well.
So, we'll see if Russia stays to pattern.
Mm-hmm.
all right. NATO members have been naive.
Oh, you blew one off. You blew off the good advice for Mark Meadows.
What? How did I?
So Joe Scarborough offered some advice today to his longtime friend, Mark Meadows.
Says everything you need to know about Joe Scarborough.
I love this. He says, hey, Mark, I've known you a long time, buddy. You're in deep shit. You're in the middle of this conspiracy. You may want to get yourself a really, really good criminal defense attorney. To quote Donald Trump, you may want to get one of those. But, oh, wait, here's an idea. You know, you could do something that you've refused to do for years now. You could show courage. You could tell the truth. And, hey, Mark, Donald Trump's not going to stand up for you. He's not going to protect you. He's going to throw you under the bus. He will stab you in the back, and he will let you rot in jail.
Yeah.
So defend the country, or, hey, get ready to pay a criminal defense attorney a whole lot of money.
I hope. I can only
Yeah.
hope. That's all I got left.
I know. I
At the same
Oh, I
time,
got
anybody
left.
want to bet
want to
whether
see
or
it
not
happen.
fucking Mika and Joe don't find a way to be friends with DeSantis?
Well, nice parties and all.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's all you have to do is say a couple of times about how there are two sides to the issue. And
Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't know how I missed that.
I want you to understand the issue is that the Trump tards are advocating murdering members of my family. That would be a mistake like none they've ever made before.
Yeah. No, my whole life, the right has threatened violence, and it's only
Yep.
been in the last 20 years that I've started seeing the left go, fucking do it.
Yeah.
See what happens.
I dare you, motherfuckers. All right.
You have to appreciate art to create a real war crime.
All right. Now we'll talk about NATO.
Absolutely. So the Spanish Prime Minister, Pedro Sanchez, told CNN, NATO is sending a clear message to Putin that they're going to support Ukraine, that they're going to support Ukraine until the Russian troops leave the country and Russia respects the territorial integrity and national sovereignty of Ukraine. He was asked whether it was a mistake to consider Russia a strategic partner in 2010. Sanchez said that at the time, NATO had tried to give Russia and Putin an opportunity, and that perhaps over the years we've been a bit naive in our relations with Russia. Now we see an expansionist and imperialist.
Yep.
Right? So, says this is unacceptable. I think it's important that we're now approving the Madrid summit, which is to define Russia as a strategic threat for the Allies and to define what are the means, the instruments that we are going to put in place in order to respond to this global threat. That's where you took your
Okay,
country,
cool, fine.
Pootie boy.
I was confusing the other thing. I had confused Minsk and the other,
Ah, okay.
and Co. Because one of those is the one where Ukraine gives up a Texas-sized chunk of it, and
Yeah, no.
fuck no.
Yeah.
An equivalent.
Well, even if they do, there's always the possibility we can starve Russia to the point where they give it back, which ought to be our goal.
I don't think Ukraine should accept that deal.
I don't think they should either, but that's Ukraine's decision.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway,
It's usually only other countries that are talking about it.
the reason I brought this one in is And I'm very proud of where NATO and the EU are going.
So far, so good.
I challenge the word naive. Guys, you weren't naive. You were for fucking sale. Your politicians sold you out to the oligarchs in Russia. You ought to remember who those are. In Germany, you know exactly who those are. And you ought to punish them.
Yep.
So, anyway. You weren't naive. You were for sale.
Fair. Fuck you, Archbishop Salvador Cordileone.
And
Did I get anywhere close to that last name?
Absolutely. Salvatore Cordileone. That's the way it reads to me.
Nailed it.
Anyway, he's the one who said Nancy Pelosi couldn't get communion. So anyway, just so you know, and you know that everybody else knows, Nancy Pelosi had communion today at the Vatican.
Uh-huh.
This was a papal mass, and she celebrated communion with the other congregants.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yay, Jesus
So-
wafers.
Fuck you, Trump-tard Archbishop.
Yeah. Part of this problem is it's easy for me to shrug because I don't expect a lot of good out of the religious kids.
No.
Like, at best, they're going to sit there and be quiet.
At worst, they're gonna fucking burn some shit down.
Yeah. Bomb something or shoot a doctor or, find some piece of art that they can't
I'm sure those were
abide.
good Christians that bombed the black churches.
Oh,
and, yeah.
For sure. That was one of the founding things about the Klan, that and the anti-communist shit. That's why the socialism tag vaguely rings out.
All right. FBI opens widening investigation of sex abuse in New Orleans Roman Catholic Church.
No.
Yeah, right? Like
It's
anyone's
unusual for the
surprised.
FBI to get involved.
That means they're
Part
crossing
of-
people over state borders.
Yeah, that's exactly what it means.
Or that somebody didn't go to the church first.
They're subject to the Mann Act, and it's a century-old anti-sex trafficking law that prohibits taking anyone across state lines for illicit sex. It also has no statute of limitations.
Illicit kinds of sex?
I'm sure.
That sounds...
Missionary?
Yeah. Anyway, some of the New Orleans cases under review allege abuse by clergy during trips to Mississippi camps or amusement parks in Texas and Florida. And while some of those claims are decades old, as I pointed out, the Mann Act has no statute of limitations, right? So, at least one of them has said that his assailant took him on trips to Colorado and Florida and abused him beginning in the 70s when he was in 5th grade.
Oh, God.
So, if that guy is still around, let's whip the Mann Act on him. And yeah. The FBI declined to comment, as did the Louisiana State Police. But then again, the Archdiocese of New Orleans declined to discuss the federal investigations. But they're already in legal peril for the Archdiocese as it reels from bankruptcy brought on by a flood of sex abuse lawsuits and allegations
Good. I hope
that
they go
church
under.
leaders turned a blind eye
I
to
hope they shut
generations of predator priests.
Fuck 'em.
That wasn't the point of the church.
No, the church can meet in an open field.
Yeah.
They don't have to own any of those buildings.
Oh, yeah, no. No, I'm saying the kid fucking was the point of all churches everywhere. But until proven otherwise, and only for a 10-minute window after you proved it this time.
I understand how
They're
one
like
comes to
monarchies.
feel
They're
that way.
never to be trusted.
Yep.
Uh,
Anyway, I
Yeah.
think it's great.
Good.
Go get them, FBI.
Yeah. No, and Pope, if you want to be the fucking Pope people pretend you are,
Right.
fucking, it's time to, like, use some of this. Like, have that shit held until the Swiss Guard get there, and then live stream his execution.
Ooh, I like that.
You have books of torture, dust one off, and make it weird.
Right, and you've got that great big open area right there in front of the... Yeah, it'd be perfect.
What happen? At some level, what happens is that, like, Vatican makes a chop video of fucking bad priest. Like,
Yeah.
one, I think we just found out the internet can't actually censor shit, because that's one of those videos that's gonna go around
Oh, yeah.
on somebody who, again, no one is going, oh no, don't.
Yep.
All right.
And
Geo.
if you're going to do that, might I recommend flaying?
They've got books, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Make them confess some shit. Weird shit. I know I'm good. Problem. I'll be quiet.
GOP senator may block school lunch funding.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get his name out there, right? So Senator Roger Marshall, who's a Republican, I'm sorry, Trump-tard from Kansas.
I'm not doing the Republicans' battle for them. They have been awfully quiet. He's a Republican. Like
these
peace and
those are the
rapture.
same
Yeah,
cats
he's
who
a
wanna
Republican.
Pretend that
Yeah, they took your party's name. You should be annoyed by that.
they ran the
But what the heck?
wings trick on you again.
Yeah. Anyway, he may block a bipartisan effort to fund school lunch programs because he doesn't like guidance that the school shouldn't discriminate against LGBTQ students when distributing food.
Wait,
What the fuck? What?
run that by me again?
What? Why does he care if the one or possibly two trans people in the entire school get to eat or not?
Because he's a Republican.
Does that mean I can take away his food because he's a Republican and I don't agree with his way he's living his
You're gonna
life?
have to-
I disagree with the
We're
way
You're
he's
going to
living
have
his
to
life.
win some elections, but
go to-
yeah, I'm up for taking away his food.
Yeah. No,
So-
Fuck.
Anyway, again, hey, he's a Republican, right? When you vote
probably a good
Republican, you are supporting
Just asking.
scum like him.
yeah.
He's got an R next to his name. He's elected by the Republican Party.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm
Yeah, no, I'm done with the MAGA. I'm done with the Trump tards.
It's no
I'm done
longer
with it.
Graft versus Host anymore.
These are Republicans.
these are
Graft
Republicans.
one.
Yeah.
Wow, that's actually kind of fun. I like how that worked out, just rhetorically.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. So fuck that guy. And Roger Marshall, if you're listening, I'm coming for your food.
Absolutely.
All right. Ginny Thomas backing out.
So remember, she previously said she can't wait to be
Yep.
interviewed by members of the House January 6th committee.
horribly embarrassing.
So her attorney has now provided the committee with a letter that says, before I can recommend she meet with you, I'm asking the committee to provide better justification, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's been a very difficult time for the Thomases. So we knew she wasn't going to do it. We knew she was going to find a way to back out.
I
Here we
thought
go.
of an amazing way to describe exactly what's happening here. So you know the Simpsons scene where Homer melts into
Yes.
the bush? That's Ginny Thomas right now, just melting into the bush.
Oh, sure. No, she ran her mouth. Again, this is the...
She fucked around, and now she's desperately trying
finding
not to
and-
find out.
and shrinking back into that bush like I was
Yeah.
never here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, our lawyer's trying a bullshit Jedi mind trick.
Oh,
Hopefully it doesn't
I should
work.
make a meme. I
You
like
should.
that. I'm gonna do
You should
that.
make a
Assuming
meme.
That's the meme I'm
Absolutely.
gonna
Making that
It's
discussion.
gonna be
Yep.
good. All right. I'm gonna make a note. Meme.
Luckily, you can make it before we post this, and then no one will know.
Then I can label one Ginny Thomas and one Risen. Like, okay. Amon Bundy makes his life worse.
Yeah, you tell that Cordy doesn't control you.
Anyway, so Amon Bundy and his associate Diego Rodriguez are not following legal processes in a lawsuit that stems from a child protection case. Remember, this is when they wanted everybody to show up at the hospital, and a severely malnourished child was brought in and ultimately was, taken over by Child Protective Services so that he could get appropriate medical treatment. And Amon
nourishment.
Bundy and so forth, he had his people march on the hospital. He doxed the medical people, the whole thing. So they sued him.
Good.
They sued him for defamation and harassment.
Good.
So anyway, Rodriguez has disappeared. But they urged people to protest at St. Luke's. As I said, they doxed healthcare providers, and according to the lawsuit, disrupted operations of the hospital. Cool.
Classic.
All right. So they were ordered to turn over certain documents. Certain documents were subpoenaed. They, of course, have the right to subpoena documents of their own. They have turned over nothing.
Of course not.
So the hospital has asked that the judge order Bundy to sit for a deposition where he would have to respond to their questions. They say Bundy has demonstrated a pattern of ignoring court orders, citing a jail sentence Bundy received after trying to claim hours he spent on his gubernatorial campaign as community service. Oh my God.
Oh, God.
Against the judge's instructions. That history demonstrates that lesser sanctions than requested would not be effective.
Agreed.
So, keep it up. Amon there, buddy. What you're going to find out is the court can, in fact, send people to arrest you and drag you to a deposition.
Yep.
And they can confine you for a while before and after.
You're not hiding behind a wall of women and children right now, buddy.
Yeah.
And you fly a
Oh,
lot.
he thinks he has rights.
Hey, he's got all the rights in the world he wants. But as his father discovered, that when you go to the airport and they know you don't have guns, they will arrest the living shit out of you.
Mm-hmm.
The Wade.
Oh.
All right.
There was a kerthump at the door, and we're deciding whether or not we know the kerthumper.
Either a lawn gnome is trying to kick the door in which
Yeah.
case.
Or we have one of our animals out there, possibly,
All right.
in the dark, where he doesn't show up, because he's a black lab.
BoomerRex
yes.
is about damn time. He's not a black lab. He's a chocolate lab. Let's get this.
So whatever the hell he is. He's
orange.
Labrador-shaped, and he's dark.
He's fucking chocolate, man.
He's orange.
You ready for about goddamn time?
I just
What's that?
said
What do we do?
BoomerRex is about damn time. Tell
What
me
time
the
is it?
good news.
Trump White House counsel Pat Cipollone has been subpoenaed.
Well, I'd rather arrested.
And, well, we'll see. The subpoena compels Cipollone to testify on July the 6th. The inquiry includes examination of former President Trump's awareness and involvement in activities undertaken to subvert the outcome of the 2020 presidential election, including submission of fake electoral ballots to Congress and the executive branch, and the attempted appointment of Jeffrey Clark as acting attorney general. They say our investigation has revealed credible evidence that you have information concerning these and other issues within the scope of the Select Committee's inquiry.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good.
Now, I'm sure he's going to fight, and there'll be lawsuits and so forth. On the other hand, we've already had them all. No, it's not executive privilege.
Yep.
No, you can show the fuck up. No, you weren't Trump's lawyer.
Yeah.
You were the lawyer for the United States of America.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Hope you were done being a lawyer.
Yeah.
now,
You're
if
going to be
he's,
the next Rudy fucking Giuliani.
again, if he's smart, he has been waiting for this,
Yep.
and he's going to ask for specific kinds of immunity.
Yep.
So,
Like glean for a day.
and then he's going to sell, then he's going to sell
boxes and
Trump down the
boxes.
fucking river.
Yeah.
Then
Hopefully.
he's gonna sell a book. We're all gonna hate it. I'm gonna fall down that Christmas.
Yeah.
All right. Dumbass of the day.
You remember Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters?
No.
She's the one who took people in to fuck with the
Yeah.
voting machines and so forth. She's been charged with that. But she's a candidate for Secretary of State in Colorado.
Which makes all the sense in the world.
So anyway, she lost the primary. So she will not be a candidate for Secretary of State in Colorado.
And I guess find a new job where you want to move to. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. And so she was beaten by 44% to 26.5%. So,
She got trounced.
Yeah, she just sounds like a narc.
Oh my god. People gave her the hard no.
yeah.
Jesus. That's
Currently under
embarrassing.
criminal indictment, has been banned from overseeing elections, etc., etc. Anyway, she has now said they won't back down, they won't give up, no matter what the results are. She offered a conspiracy theory. She says, the AP calls in the SOS GOP primary for Pam Anderson. And she says, the numbers are flipped and the results are fraudulent. It's not over. Hey, it's over, bitch. Sit down, shut up. Your 15 minutes are over.
All right, Democrats, are you listening?
Except
This
for
is
when they
how
foot walk your
we
ass to
move
prison.
Forward, okay? Every time you lose an election, you fall down and look hurt, okay? And that's how you eventually win them, apparently.
No, do not introduce soccer flopping to American politics. It's the only horrible
They're
thing.
doing it already.
Yeah,
Not introducing anything.
don't endorse it.
I do endorse I endorse, whatever the Republicans want to do. Let's just do it right back at them. Like, just fuck them. Just fuck them. I'm done.
Yeah, but I don't think this one's getting yardage.
Yeah.
Anyway.
She got beat pretty damn bad.
Yeah. Yeah, and good for
Colorado.
That. Yeah, good for Colorado. Well played, people. All right, eternal war on voting continues.
Yes, the Republican war on voting continues. Republican war. They've been doing this for years. There are hard drives full of their consultants' suggestions on things that look reasonable and have an unreasonable impact on minority voters, and it's what they've enacted everywhere they've been. Nothing scares the Republican Party like the idea of an honest election. Nothing. So, anyway, despite pushback from voting rights advocates, Missouri voters will be required to produce a photo ID at the ballot box under a new law signed by Republican Governor Mike Parson. This is what you voted for, Republicans. When you voted Republican, this is what you voted for. Was suppressing votes. And that's exactly what this is. So anyway, you got to listen to this. In 2020 and years prior, Missouri has conducted free, fair, and secure elections. Yeah, you mean the one that elected you, fuckturd? But with changing technologies and new emerging threats. Yeah, anyway. It's always the same thing, right? They've used the Trump's big lie as an excuse to disenfranchise voter after voter after voter. Democrats, get the fuck out. Make sure your goddamn base is registered, and make sure they get to the fucking polls, and let's send these assholes back under the rock they came from.
That's about all you can really do.
Make racists scared again. Or make them quiet again.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were ever actually all that scared.
Being a racist scary
they were.
Again.
And again, my exposure in the South was in a family where my grandfather, who was the majority whip, left the party when it went Dixiecrat, said he would never go back to Montgomery. So I had what may have been an odd sample. But at that time, if you voiced in the circle that family ran in, if you voiced some racist nonsense,
some rude thing was going to happen,
you were going to be shunned.
Fair.
Right? That you just weren't polite society. Now, whether there was an underlying racism they were just covering up, I can't speak to. But it wasn't said publicly in any case. And if you did, they shunned you. You weren't invited to the parties. People didn't go to your parties. And this was, so when are we talking about? We're talking about the late 50s and early 60s up to about
back
67.
When having parties and people over was a big thing.
So anyway, again, it's a very limited sample. But it was a sample where if you said something racist, you were done. So.
Well, in my whole life, like, they've had these people who dance right up to the edge, just say, right, and they're not, like, this is not the same. This is, their drift has accelerated.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that makes them not ideological derelicts. That means there's someone inside doing something.
Agreed.
And now
look no further than Donald Trump's statements on the campaign
look
tour.
at the one who's leading the incels openly. Look at it. No, the fact that the Royal Army is a thing that gets referenced and wielded at least threatened as though it should be wieldable like a weapon.
What is that?
It's one of the shithead adjacent groups that it's anti-Semitic based on its name. It's an internet nonsense collective.
Okay. All right. Updates with BoomerRex health threat.
God, it didn't take any time at all for the Republicans to recycle all their idiotic conspiracy theories. So we'll run through some of them. No, monkeypox is not a hoax. No, vaccines don't give you monkeypox. Monkeypox was not invented by Bill Gates or the pharmaceutical companies.
They really did just find replace all.
Monkeypox did not come from a lab in China or the Ukraine. No, migrants crossing the U.S. border have not brought monkeypox to the U.S.
No.
Monkeypox is not a ploy to allow for mail-in ballots. There is no need.
How is monkeypox? Anyway, continue. I'm sorry. Wow. Okay.
And no, there's no need for a monkeypox vaccine mandate or lockdowns. So go ahead and, nothing we say is going to influence these people because reality plays no role in their lives.
Agreed.
But, yeah, again, it's really amazing how quickly they recycled all their conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
No, and again, most conspiracy theories all stem from the same fucking beginning. So.
Yep.
Ugh, stupid. All right, climate weirding.
Oh boy. So Japan, just so you know what's happening everywhere, is sweltering under the hottest days yet of the worst heat wave ever recorded in Japan. It's driven official warnings of a looming power shortage, but at the same time led to calls for people to use air conditioning to prevent heat stroke as cases of hospitalization rise with the heat. Again, this is more of what you have to understand is the world has already warmed 1.1 degrees since the beginning of the industrial age. So we are 2/3 of the way to the agreement with no chance whatsoever of keeping the warming under 1.3 C. That isn't happening. So anyway, Tokyo charted temperatures above 95 degrees on Wednesday. Having been to Tokyo, I can't even imagine it being that hot. And
yeah, it's not a country that my imagination says gets all that hot.
Not supposed to. It's pretty far north.
Yeah, and so is England, and it gets hot once in a bit, but...
So anyway, meanwhile, the city of Isesaki saw a record of 104.5. That was the highest temperature ever recorded in Japan.
Damn.
Sounds bad.
Yeah, well, hey, enjoy it. It's like the little joke that went around. It's, oh my God, this is the hottest summer of my life. And the short answer is, hey, it's going to be the coldest summer of the rest of your life. So just keep fucking with the climate, guys. It's just getting started. Oh, everything will turn out fine unless you want to eat or drink water. Or... Absolutely.
You ever watched Mutual Omaha, motherfucker? We are all gonna die. We're not even gonna die cool like, the wild North American whatever, or right, wherever, whatever. Yeah, we're not gonna get chased by nothing in grad. It's just gonna be we're the animal that sat in its little mud puddle and shat till it died.
Yep.
Gross.
We are the frog.
Yeah. We're pandas, man. Won't even walk over the hills to the next bamboo.
Won't even go look.
We and pandas deserve it.
All right, so this particular thing has been a little slow recently, but something triggered me this afternoon. So let's do it's about damn time to burn it all down with Risen. Okay.
Wednesday.
Well, I've been doing it kind of sporadically
Randomly.
whenever the mood strikes
But this is
me.
Wednesday, so this
Whenever
is
the
burn it
kindling
down
stacks
Wednesday
up.
with Risen.
Yeah.
Go.
All right. Judge Joe Brown. Y'all remember him?
Yep.
Y'all remember him, all right? He was on the Alex Jones show on June 24th
That figures.
to talk about the overturn of Roe v. Wade. Among his bigoting, ranting, and rambling about the transgender community and women, he had some real gems to share with to share with the class.
Yeah, especially with Alex Jones.
I'm gonna put a content
There
warning.
were some weirdo fuckers.
Oh yeah, no. I'm gonna put a content warning here. Okay, so
We're about to quote some hate
for
speech.
the LGBTQ plus community, there are going to be some slurs. For women, there's going to be some really offensive things.
Yeah, forget about that.
We're going to get banned
This is
again.
gonna be bad. All right, so heads up, folks. Judge Joe Brown is not your friend. He's a piece of shit, and he's a bigot. And wow,
Are you
Wow.
going to quote him and get us banned?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I'm going to
Okay.
quote him. So
Yeah.
this is not our
Except for
word.
the
You got
internet,
us.
if we
You got
get
us unbanned. So you should say before
Just
each
have
one.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
did. I
Yeah.
put the warning. The warning's out there. This is
Fair.
inappropriate for if you have the trigger warning, I think is what they use now
Can do, yeah.
to say that
Yeah.
there's going to be some inappropriate things following. So if you are sensitive to the transgender community, to women, to LGBTQ plus,
Skip forward a bit.
this is
We'll be shouting about other reasons why you should take a bath. in the
this is going to
toaster.
be bad. So just heads
Don't
up.
take baths with toast.
This is not fun. So anyway, he starts one of his earlier ones that was just, oh my fucking god. He has a joke for Alex, right? So he says, he, what do you see whenever you see a human? And Alex Jones says, a man or a woman. And he says, you see a successful screw. Cool. Successful in
What way?
the sense of
The same
That
way
there
I-
was a
there's
successful.
a child that was then
the
raised.
same way I call
Exactly.
people's kids fuck trophies.
So, my idea of a successful screw is orgasming. Everybody involved has
That's a
the
good
big
time.
O, right?
Yeah.
That's a successful fucking screw. Jesus. Anyway,
So you're
so
just talking mythical things because neither of the men in that room have ever caused through action, inaction.
or otherwise. Now, I want to remind y'all, Alex Jones brags regularly on his show about how many abortions he's forced women to
Paid
have.
for?
Some of them he encouraged and said, you should really do this and you really got to do this. And some of them were fine with it. But he paid for all of them.
Forced is a story.
Borrowed money from his dad. These are stories he tells on his show all the time. So this dude has had all the abortions, okay? At least 10 of them. Or at least that's what he claims
my
on his
God.
show.
Right.
And now he's happy that Roe v. Wade is overturned. So this guy, classic.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, it was the only way he was going to have offspring.
Being
Does he have
absolutely
offspring?
free of
He does.
ideology
He's got like 2 or 3
is
kids.
the only way these kids can make it.
So the next thing is his thoughts on puberty blockers. I'll just share this with you right now.
What the fuck is a puberty walker?
Blocker.
Blocker. I'm sorry.
No, I got you.
Sorry,
That must have been weird for a second.
yeah. So
Yeah, a
so
little bit. Did you hear the same thing or not?
he
okay.
discusses puberty blockers. And he says, I quote, remember, starting at 8-9 years old in this state, they were talking about having puberty blockers. So the person is never getting to the point where hell, and then Alex interrupts and says, let's be clear. Let's be clear. They can't buy a pack of cigarettes or a gun. They can't join the military, but they can just decide to have their balls cut off. And then Judge Joe Brown
Oh.
says,
I would largely claim joining the military works much as a puberty extender, but
and then Judge Joe Brown replies, yeah, after they've been allowed to take puberty blockers, so they don't even get their first hard-on to find out what it's all about. And Alex Jones replies, exactly. That's a good point. They don't want you to know that's going to be the best part of your life right there. They don't want you to even experience.
so their life really is about the hokey pokey.
It really is. It's about having a hard on.
Oh,
No,
The best part of his life,
Want to bet money on whether both of them have to use Viagra?
right?
the best part of Alex Jones's childhood was when he was
Right.
called on in class and had a boner and had to stand up with a boner.
Well, yeah, that way the other boys knew he
Knew
was
he
a
had
boy.
one. Yeah.
That was his favorite part of his life. Just fucking absolutely amazing. Now, I meant to take the time to look up to see if puberty blockers actually stop you from having erections or
Yeah.
being
No idea.
sexually aroused. I didn't have the time because I did this quickly before the show, so I apologize. I will look that up and get back to you on that. But yeah, no, that was.
Unless it comes with a blindfold, I'm gonna say I doubt it.
And Judge Joe Brown responds to that. Yeah, he says. Yep, that's good.
That's part of his life.
And here's where things take a dark
I feel bad for
turn.
everyone's
Oh,
kids.
are we about to get off the rails?
This is where things start getting pretty this is real dark. All right, if you've
This
been
is where we went
with
from
us up
shithead
till
and
now,
shithead.
You might want to skip ahead.
you've been with us up till now. We appreciate you. Skip ahead about 45 to a minute, okay? About a minute, because this is bad. If you're sensitive, this is.
See you in a bit.
Oh God. Anyway, Judge Joe Brown says, part of this whole thing with the trainee thing has got to do with the lifeboat situation. The next time the Titanic goes down without enough lifeboats, men's supposed to say, ma'am, you may have my seat, you and your child. I'll drown with the ship when it goes down. See, that takes a whole lot, but a lot of punks don't have that kind of manliness, and they want to deal with, oh, I got a dress on, I should be able to get in there. My position has been, no, grab them, snatch them, throw them on the other side of the ship, and chum the sharks so the women and children get away safe. You know?
I don't think
It
I've
was weird,
ever
and then it took a
heard.
fucking turn.
I don't think I've ever heard as stupid and convoluted.
Yeah.
And offensive? I mean,
Yeah.
oh, it gets
I-
worse, but that's like, that's a dark
Hey.
fucking.
On the other hand, this is why you occasionally see me throwing stones at people when I see them intellectually inventing shit
Yeah.
and explanations for stuff. I don't fucking care why they're out of whatever, wherever.
Yeah.
Because this is where I think logic and whatever the fuck he's doing have disconnected.
Oh yeah. No, there's no logic in that word salad
No,
at
but
all.
it has often
but
struck me
this-
that if they could, it seems to me like they seem to feel if they can inflate some sort of intellectual architecture, right? If they can just like hold it all out, it'll have
Yeah.
to stay up on its own.
Yep.
I mean, the whole concept of, trying to claim that trans women are going to try to take the place of other, because they're not manly enough, but they're trans women. So I don't understand where he thinks that any of this
With a human
is
history with
appropriate.
chock full of people escaping various things by having dressed as women.
His idea of manliness is awkward because I can see this happening. Him being on that ship and him getting in a fucking lifeboat.
Oh,
He's
well.
not gonna go down with the fucking ship. Let's be honest. Neither him nor Alex Jones have the balls to quote unquote go down with the fucking ship. It's not gonna happen.
Not gonna fight you for the lifeboat right there where there's a lot of people. They're gonna
Yeah.
be the ones who are pulling at you from the water.
Or that. But it's just fucking stupid.
And yeah, no,
Do we have more of this nonsense?
yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
the dribble continues.
Oh,
It was,
cool.
and it
This
gets so much worse. Like that's the thing. Is the whole time I heard this, I'm waiting for like, okay, but now we've hit bedrock of what the fuck. Like,
Yeah. No, huh? They keep
like
digging.
I said, I guess Joe Brown's just done being on TV.
So
First rule of holes.
I'm gonna
Stop
give you
digging.
a quote out of context, and then I'm gonna read the whole context. Now, I'm gonna warn you, the whole context makes it way worse.
All right, skipping kids. We'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah, no,
Hop
this
down
is,
a couple more minutes. It might
Yeah,
skip a
this
bit.
is at least a minute. This is gonna be
Yeah,
probably a
we'll
couple
see.
minutes because we're gonna talk about this. So this is ridiculous. So the out of context quote is, "The women are a resource."
Right?
Hassel, I don't know. Can you describe the look on my face
Same
when we
look.
got to this part?
Like, look I
just-
made is, oh shit, we haven't gone to fucking chattel slavery or anything else. It's no
And they're
longer
already-
inanimate object we're talking about.
Yeah. No.
So-
Again,
This is
livestock.
vaginas as a commodity? This is
This is livestock.
This
no.
this
I
anyway,
we
so
care more about livestock.
we're gonna talk about this in detail, but let me read this entire quote so you
All
can
right.
understand the majesty that this is. Okay, this is truly eloquently.
Majestic stupidity.
Oh my God! There are not enough words to just hear me out.
There are, but they're all
So he says, quote, "I have a model. It's all about protecting womanhood and promoting manhood. Why? Because the women are a resource. They bear the children. A man can technically fertilize quite a few women at the same time. So we've always had this thing when the population goes down, the more successful men, they get around. Now we have monogamy, but men can procreate. They go off, we go off to wars. We guard the front doors. We sacrifice ourselves to protect our wives and families, and life goes on, and your gene code gets continued because the mother birthed the children. She could have been pregnant when you lost your life, and it's what it is.
Hey, women,
Death cult, motherfuckers.
if you vote Republican,
Yeah.
you're voting to become livestock,
At best.
right? At best, I agree.
No,
Again,
and again, this is bad both ways, okay? This is horrific to describe women literally as chattel, because that's literally what
That's
this
literally
is.
what he said.
Yeah. But it's also putting men in a, like,
Oh, yeah.
sure, a better position, but still, all you guys are good for is putting
We're the
lots of
dude praying
babies
mantis.
in women.
and then where your little head's bitten off. I'm gonna be one of those spiders that learns to jump.
Well, hey, with the end of Roe v. Wade,
Yeah.
all those rapists get to decide who their child's mother is going to be.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen that on Facebook. Jesus.
No, and my question is, so at some point we're going to invent an artificial uterus, and then are these guys just done with the women then? Because like,
No, women are a
No,
lot
women,
of trouble.
women aren't going to need men anymore. We'll
Oh,
just,
yeah.
we'll just.
well, women
get
are
rid of
wildly
them,
close to
take them
not
out of the
needing
gene
men.
pool.
Men
Oh, yeah.
are not needing women.
Yeah.
This just seems like they're getting set for some underpinnings about chaining women's in basements.
I mean, women just go get a donation and they're good to go. So,
This is
anyway,
just disgusting. I
maybe
mean,
that's what women should do.
against the
Just make men obsolete.
against the LGBT community, against the women in general, against humanity almost, because you know all the wonderful things we've done, and all he can talk about is procreation. That's all he cares about. That's all men do. That's all women do. The only thing anybody is good for is birthing children. That's it. If you're not birthing children, you are not doing your job.
And except not really you be trusted with it, it sounds a lot like Joe Brown needs to get laid.
I was just thinking, this sounds like somebody talking who's not getting much.
I can't.
So again, women of America, don't breed
Yeah, don't fuck
with
crazy.
this scum.
Look, we've been saying it for a long time, but for real, like we all got to start living up to it. Don't fuck crazy, and I know crazy fucks better than most, but
If dude's opening introduction to you is, "Hi, I like Alex Jones," fucking run. Just turn around and run.
Walk away.
It's not bad.
Yep.
Just fucking don't touch it. Don't look at it. If they like Sean Hannity, fuck them. Fuck them. In
There are
the
some types of
bad way, not the
outfolded
good way. Sorry. I
boys
didn't
that
mean
can
to.
be like not fixed.
Yeah.
Just fuck. No, burn all them. Fuck them all. Fuck everybody.
Yep.
And not in the pleasant way they want. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Make it uncomfortable.
Vexies, release the drones.
Just laugh. Walk away.
So yeah, so
Humans.
this is the type of shit that
I know.
that's going around out there in the Republican
If you
community
vote
right now.
Republican, this is what you are voting for.
It's not like the 90s where you could pretend, well, no, that's just a very loud minority in our party, and that's not how we're
Mm-hmm.
legislating. And yes,
It's
it
the
is.
overwhelming majority of your party.
It's
And
the
they have
overwhelming
created
majority
a
of the yardage
kangaroo
you're
court
getting.
that doesn't believe in reality and
Yeah.
doesn't believe in the Constitution and is out to
No, I've seen a number of Republicans try to argue how it's not some binary choice on things, and we are actively getting to the place where it motherfucking is.
It motherfucking is.
Democrats try to avoid doing that with guns, because that'd be a mistake.
It'd be a huge mistake.
Because, like, a little bit, there's a lot of America that believes with a gun, a lot of your rules become optional.
But, and just so you know, I'm really getting tired of hearing and seeing in posts and comments to people who are posting about the abortion ban, the Roe v. Wade being overturned, and these fucking idiots saying it's not a ban, they just kicked it back to the states.
17 of which have already spoken to the issue.
Holy shit! What the fuck?
Well,
Because
and many
it's
of
not
them
a clear across the board.
Many of them are
ban.
talking about restricting travel so that their citizens, if you were a woman and you live in a state that has banned abortion, you need to find a new job and fucking leave. And if your husband doesn't want to come with you, fucking
No.
walk.
But here's what I'm saying. We need to stop allowing these people to use that term, right? Oh no, they're just kicking it back to the states. If anybody says kicking back to states, or they're just sending it back to the states, or it's just going back to the states, that's not what this is. They know exactly what the states are going to do, which is why they fucking did it.
Yep. Well, and that rhetorically it is wildly less offensive to people to say that than, yes, obviously we're going to legislate what you can do with your nasty girl vaginas.
Yeah.
Because
well,
here's
and
the
if they
thing.
win in 2022 and 2024, you're going to have a national ban on abortion. Period.
Oh yeah, it'll happen.
And it'll be
don't
just
fucking
fine. They've
doubt
got states' rights. Who the hell? What are you talking about? No way.
Has anyone submitted a travel ban yet?
No, there have been a number of discussions of the travel ban.
That's what I thought. I was just
What
trying-
amounted to a travel ban.
I think what they're trying to
I
figure
wasn't
out.
trying to fuck it up if you were trying to do a
Yeah.
rhetorical thing.
I think what they're trying to figure out right now is the logistics of how they could carry out that type of ban. Once they
Absolutely.
figure that out, it's going to be put in place. I guarantee it.
So another thought for women living in these states is if you discover that you are pregnant, you tell no one.
Don't text nobody. Don't nothing.
Oh, by the way, delete your period tracker apps, ladies. Or
I like
actually, you know
the
what?
idea
First,
of
go
having-
back and fuck up your period tracker. Okay,
Right.
as much of it as you can get to right now. Fuck it all up so it's all weird all the time. Maybe you go 3 months
Or-
without a period, last
Keep it
year,
up.
and just mess with it.
And if you have a
but-
boyfriend or a husband who's not a Republican, have them download the period app and just start putting gibberish in.
I don't believe you can generate enough false data to fuck with big data anymore.
No.
I think
Well,
you would
and
need,
again-
you would need
again,
an automated response.
Here's what y'all have to remember. It doesn't matter, and I appreciate the men who are going in and doing
Oh,
it.
yeah.
But what I want to remind you is that it doesn't matter because it's tied to your cell phone number. All they have to do is say, "Oh, we're going to get this information from this cell phone." It's got your name on it already. It's all squared away. They don't need to dig through all these
And
other
despite
period
what
trackers.
your
They
app-
just need yours, which is easy for them to get.
And despite what your app may say about data privacy,
They're going to sell
we
it.
have example after example after example
they
where
think the
companies
pile
have
of money is
violated
bigger-
their data privacy agreement and sold the data.
If the pile of money is bigger than the fine they will face, that's absolutely what they'll
Oh,
do every
absolutely.
time, and be lauded by industry organizations as good capitalists.
Yep.
So no, just again, just another example of what y'all have to look forward to.
No,
All right?
we are about to get good at digital privacy. My concern about the enforcement logistics and all of that is that they decided to do the most obvious thing, which to me is treat it like the failure to sign up for selective services or any of the other things where I just need a charge to
Yep.
jam someone up for a hot minute. Right? There's a girl that's shouting at you a lot and she looks like she might
Yeah.
be pregnant. Fuck it, try it.
Yep. Well, the simplest thing would be to require that women have an examination to prove they're not pregnant before leaving the state.
Yeah.
And you can check that right at the border.
I would look more for criminalization of crimes while pregnant.
Yeah, okay.
Because that way, when they resist the officer at the checkpoint or whatever,
Yeah, you can lock them up. Yeah,
and punish them extra because they're keeping the baby in jail. And
yeah.
But who knows? They're all just bad.
You guys really need to stop coming up with better ideas for how these guys can handle this shit. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, it annoys the shit out of me. You can talk about it with me when we're off air. Stop fucking saying it on the goddamn post.
That's probably
Good
true.
idea.
There are topics we don't discuss
Yeah,
on air.
and this should probably be.
This should probably
No.
be one.
This should be saved for the pregame show because people want to give us money. They can fucking listen to whatever the fuck they want, but they'd be paying us for it.
No, yeah.
We'll see.
I've got one bucket. I put not shareable ideas in.
Yes. I don't need three.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's how shit gets
Yes,
misfiled.
no, and
And I
pregame.
teach somebody how to make the wrong kind of drone.
Yeah.
So anyway, we love you all and stay safe out there. Delete those period trackers. Guys, keep doing what you're doing. Step up, protect your women, your daughters, your mothers.
Biggest thing you can
mean,
do is vote Democratic
Vote
straight ticket.
Democrat. But look into those Democrats because that's starting to get hazy now too. Make sure
there's
that
no
whoever
point.
you're voting for is pro choice and not anti-choice. Make sure that they want
You
a
vote
living
straight
wage.
ticket Democrat.
I don't believe in that anymore.
Then you will not be voting for some Democrats when you desperately needed them.
Well, they're not going to do what I want them to do. Why would I vote for them? I want to make sure they're going to do what I want them to do before I vote for them. If a Republican comes out tomorrow and says they want minimum wage, they want to raise the minimum wage, they want universal health care, and they want to put Roe v. Wade back in place, I'll vote for you. Prove to
That's
me
a
you're going to
huge
do it.
mistake.
That's a big roll of the dice.
Yep.
What I'm
Because you can
saying...
if a Republican says those things, you can count on the fact that they're lying to
Oh,
you.
of course, but my
And
point
look
is...
no further than Kristen Sinema if you're looking for people who lied to you.
Fair.
Everybody's going to lie to you is my point. And right now, we can't fuck around with these people who are pretending to be Democrats who really fucking are.
Make sure that they're supported by the party and vote straight Democratic. Remember that the Republicans are now doing fake candidates.
Yeah.
Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, heart, follow, review. Go to, sorry, I missed a part. Smash that like button on YouTube.
I can't believe you put that in there. That was my line. You stole it.
I didn't steal it. I told you about it in the first place.
I know, and then you didn't do it. So I had gotten in the habit of saying, smash the like button.
Didn't do it once. Anyway, go to BoomerRexTonight, no spaces on Facebook.
Smash the like button.
Fun memes and a link to our Patreon. Give us $1. You can find us on YouTube
Smash the like button.
as BoomerRex, or check your favorite podcasting service for BoomerRexTonight. We can be found on over a dozen different platforms, including Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Samsung Podcasts. Hit us up on Twitter at BRexTonight, and if you Google BoomerRexTonight, no spaces, all links will lead you to us. Do not forget, you can also now go straight to Patreon and look us up on
All right.
Patreon and give us a fucking $1.
And learn all the crazy shit we don't say in the show.
And smash the like button.
Love y'all. See you back
You
here
know,
tomorrow
they
night
just
on
look like Kanye West,
BoomerRex
and identify if you're putting ketchup
Tonight.
packets in the